So hello again, welcome again to yet another video lesson in English 10 second quarter. This is module number 2.1. So the topic for today is key and structural elements of arguments. So before that, let me ask you this one. Before I ask you what, so have you ever debated with your friends? Nag-debate na ba ako mga klase? Like for example, anong yung sisay ngayon ano yung mas maray na kawat? Mobile Legends or LOL Wild Rift? Or ano nga yung mas maray na K-pop group? Momoland or Pink or Blackpink. So, ano ang ginigibo nindo para makonbinsi si kaulay nindo? 'Di ba nagasabi kang facts, data, and many more. Or for example, nagko-compare ka mo kung anong mas maray na basketball player, si LeBron ba or si Stephen Curry. So to prove your point, you are making your arguments. And today we're going to discuss key and structure elements of your arguments in English language and in Bicol so that you'll understand more. Oh, so first, what is an argumentative essay? So, so is a type of essay that presents arguments about both sides of an issue. It could be that both sides are presented equally or balanced, or it could be that one side is presented more forcefully than the other. It all depends on the writer and what side he or she supports the most. Like for example, an argumentative essay, nag-present siya ng issue. Like for example, pabor ba ka mo na ibalik na tulos ang partial, ibalik na ang partial face-to-face or the EPA? Or pabor ba ka mo sa paghalik ang uniform or the A? Pagban kang cellphone sa school? So yan ang one of issue. And may duwang side dyan sa issue. Si agree, saka si disagree duman sa issue. Of course, duman sa anong side ka, pro or con. Then, either may choice ka mo, either represent din do siya parehas, or din do siya ipep, or pwede man na sa wrong side lang. Parehas yung 50%, pero mas tigusuro kayo sa wrong side. So that is an argumentative essay. It tries to convince an audience, which is the reader. Characteristic of argumentative essay. So first one is, it is highly persuasive and logical. Kasi ang persuasive, nakaka-convince rather na nababagong isip ta or na-encourage kita na magibong action. And logical, may sense. Kaya po, it uses assertive language. What is assertive language? Di ba? Pag sinabi tang assertive, itong may confidence ka na sabi mo tama. Tiga-assert mo sa sarili mo or sa idea mo. Second one, it is cohesive and coherent. It means it's logical. May tama magayon si pakasunod-sunod and connected si ideas duman sa topic na tigdi-discuss nindo. For example, you're discussing that for example, the author is discussing about whether Department of Education should ban school uniform or not. Siyempre, di mo dyan ibabali ang mga deman kabali dyan like milk tea or ML, di man yan kabali dyan kasi di siya kabali related naman sa topic. Next, it usually assumes that the reader disagrees with the writer, but it should note that the reader is no less intelligent than the writer. So basically, gusurat mo dyan, garo ang kaulay mo, si mga day nag-agree sa imo, na gusto mong mag-agree sa imo. But you will not look down on them. Like, you will not say any word that degrade them or think or show that you are more intelligent than your readers. Di man itong garo ng susulo-sulo ka, tamiling desin na agree sa imo, ibang klase na magkaram ka. Di ba po? Next, includes present and explains debatable claim, gives reason to support, reasons to prove the points, and refutes or proposing yan. So yan mga kabala dyan. It presents and explains debatable or issue or claim, gives reason, support these reasons to prove important points, refutes or prove wrong opposing arguments. So later, matawa kayo examples. So we have the elements of an argument. So number one, it's claim. Di ba? The thesis in an argument paper is often called claim. This is the statement of position, a thesis in which you take a stand on controversial issue. A strong claim is the one that has valid counterclaim, an opposition or alternative that is unsensible as the position that you take in your claim. Like for example, magayon bang claim na for example, the Philippines has 7,707 islands. Maganda ba siyang claim? Dai, kasi di man siya it's a fact, di siya debatable. Saka man siyang issue, di ba po? So for example, how about this one? These are my examples that I made. Number 1. Okay, so it should be death penalty. Okay, let me edit. Death penalty. Okay, how about this one? Death penalty will not decrease the crime rate in the Philippines. So anong counter-argument niya? That death penalty will decrease the crime rate in the Philippines. Second one, implementation of death penalty is immoral and shows no respect for human rights. Diba anong counter kaya? That if death penalty is maybe applied in a good way, I don't know if it makes sense, then it can show respect. So yan, perhaps di kaya ako agree sa death penalty, but I think there's some counter argument in that. Next one, instead of re-implementing death penalty, we should better our educational system to make people better members of society. So yan mga claim, may mga counter argument siya. Di ba po? Itinimanig din imbis na improve educational system, dapat i-improve ang magka-death penalty. So yan. So next one, it should have background. Context of your argument. Gets the attention of the reader without hook, definition, history about the topic or controversy that surrounds it. Like, yan. So, let me give you an example. The Philippines was the first Asian country to abolish death penalty under 1987 Constitution, but it was reimposed during the administration of President Fidel Ramos to address rising crime rate in 1993, only to be abolished again in 2006 after President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo signed a law reducing maximum punishment to life imprisonment. But due to recent events such as dreadful police killing of Sonia and Frankie Gregorio, it has become again a hot issue in the Philippines. So ano yan? Si background. Tapos si hot issue. 'Di ba? Si Sonia sa si Frankie Gregorio was killed by a police, and some people said that it would not be incident like this would lessen if there is a death penalty. So kung igod ang death penalty, matakot na maski mga police nagibuhon to. So which is perhaps a point. Next, reasons. To support your claim, you need series of subclaims or reasons like your claim. This is your thinking or your mini argument points that supports the core of argument. So ano si rason mo kung anong tigasabi mo to? Like anong tasayo mo tadawang kasurog? Example, this is my point. Death penalty should not be re-implemented because there is no assurance that only guilty people will be sentenced into death. It is also unfair to people who are not as privileged as rich people who can't afford their own lawyer. So basically, ano yung sabihin ko yan? Kasi man siyang kasiguraduhan na gabos na malag sa death penalty, itlaga si mga guilty. Pwedeng si mga inosente magpagadan man, tapos bako man gabos na tao, may kakayahan mag-hire ng abogado nila. So that is one point. That is one reason. Next, evidence. Diba? Demonstrate your reasons are not only based on your personal opinion. So dapat, bako lang siyang puro opinion ha. Evidence can come from research studies or scholarship, expert opinions, personal examples, observation made by yourself or others, or specific instances that make the reasons seem sound and believable. For example, I research. Okay. So for example, sa United States, saro siya ang pinakadakol crime rate, and kung nagbawas ang crime rate dahil sa death penalty. In a research done in the states of United States, it shows that there are more number of murder rates in the states without death penalty, such as Illinois having only 7 murder rates per year compared to states with death penalty just like Louisiana having 11. This shows that implementing death penalty does not assure safe society. So yan, 'di ba sa ibang bansa nga ni naaro kan US na magay ng mga equipment ka mga pulis. Na si mga lugar-lugod na may death penalty, dakol ang cases kang crime kumpara man sa mga lugar na mayong death penalty. So may siyang assurance. Counter-argument, in a strong argument, you will not be afraid to consider perspective that either challenge or complete oppose your claim. Siyempre, pirmi ka dyan may kalaban. Like, pirming mga taong nagsasabing gusto nyo ng death penalty. So, dapat masabi mo man to, sabi mo man si point ninda duman sa essay mo, pero di ka magpahiling, di mo basa sa inda, nagtutubod ka duman. Acknowledge mo lang, tapos, kontrahon mo. For example, so what to include in counter-argument? Summarize opposing view, explain how and where you actually agree with some point of views, acknowledge weaknesses or holes in your argument. So basically, sabihin naman, ayo, tama man talaga siya. May point siya, pero di siya entirely tama. Di siya sakto duman sa nagsasabi mo. Example, people who are pro-death penalty may say that death penalty will develop discipline to Filipino and this will make them more afraid of committing crime. They may also say that implementation of this law will protect the people from harm from dangerous people. Yan, so, tig-summarize na, pag may death penalty pwedeng, yan, mas madisiplina ang mga Pilipino, tapos matakot ang mga nagigibong crime, tapos mas safe ang mga tao. That's one point. And maybe, perhaps, in some area, and some point of another, that may be right. But, you need to respond to a counter-argument. Respond to a counter-argument that you may include so that really clearly says that you are not agreeing with the counter-argument. Pagpapabasa mo lang to sa reader, tapos, di mo man sabi, nag-agree ka duman. Nag-acknowledge mo lang na may point siya, pero dito tama. For example, using the same counter-argument, I acknowledge these points, but we should always remember that we can make Filipinos disciplined without scaring them or threatening their lives. Instead of approving this bill, we should make better educational system that will educate Filipinos more on what is right and what is wrong. We should follow the law because of our love for our country, not because we're afraid of what our government might do to us. So yan man ang counter-argument. Dapat ang mga tao, disiplinado, talahab nila ang country nila. Bako tatakot sila sa gobyerno nila. Di ba po? So that is one. So thank you for listening. I hope that you learned. If you have any questions, you may always chat me in Messenger and ask me questions. That would be all. Thank you.